Hello, and welcome to Rematched. In this video, I'm going to be ranking the original Unmatched characters from worst to best. Now, before we get started, there's three things I need to address. One, I don't have Bruce Lee. I currently only have the sets Robin Hood vs. Bigfoot and Battle of Legends Volume 1. Since I am ranking the original Unmatched characters, Bruce Lee should qualify as he was released in 2019, like the other two sets. But I just don't have him, so sorry. If it makes you feel better, you can view this as a list of the original public domain characters ranked. 2. This is just my opinion. Now, I'm not talking about the whole, remember, this is a subjective list, and it's okay if you have a different opinion, gist that you normally get with these types of videos. What I mean is that I'm not ranking these characters by how good they are, but rather who I like to play with. A character might be really good, but I'm just going off of how fun they are to play. 3. This isn't your typical top 10. It's a top 6. But jokes aside, I find that you lose something with this style of ranking. There may be a huge gap between numbers 5 and 4, for example, but a very small gap between numbers 2 and 1, which is why I'm combining the typical format with a tier list. If this sounds confusing, don't worry, it'll all make sense in a second. Now, without further ado, on with the ranking.
Son of Poseidon, I used to date your daddy.
I want to real quick acknowledge that the first tier is okay, and not bad, because I don't think any characters in Unmatched are truly bad, at least in the ones that I have. But to start off, number 6 is Medusa. And I know Medusa competitively is viewed as really good. You know, she has the 3 movement. She has second shot, I believe it is, where you can boost it. Her special ability and Stone Gaze, I think, are really good cards, really great. But what hurts the character for me is that it's not as much strategy as I would like. It seems very sort of easy to play with, you know? And I think that's one of the reasons why competitively she's viewed as good. There's just not much you really do. Stone Gaze is the main gimmick, and I do like that. I do think that's really clever, and that's really satisfying to nail your opponents. That is great. And the special ability is also pretty interesting. But there's also some other stuff that just falls flat for me. The Harpies, I think, are kind of a lame sidekick. I feel like they help as much as they hurt. From what I've seen with them, like sometimes they'll help and then sometimes they'll just be standing in the way. And I haven't, as of a game yet, really see them utilized in a way that matters. Like, they're just kind of there the whole game. Honestly, I've only played as Medusa once. And as of now, I haven't had another desire to play against Medusa. Although I have played against Medusa many a times. And they're a lot more fun to play against. I actually enjoy this whole thing where, oh, okay, do they have the Stone Gaze or not? You know, what am I going to do here? Should I cancel this one or should I do this? And that adds a lot of fun strategy to play against. But when you're actually playing as Medusa, you lose that.
What are you doing?
I'm coming with you.
Merlin, chances are I'm going to die.
Yeah, you probably would if I wasn't there.
Staying in the okay tier, we have number 5, King Arthur. Now, I do like the character of King Arthur, and maybe that is the only reason he's above Medusa. I have, like Medusa, only played as King Arthur once, but I do like just the character of King Arthur. I'm familiar with that. And he has a lot of health. That's a plus for him. I do like that. And Merlin, he has one of the best sidekicks ever. Merlin has a bunch of cool stuff he can do, and is super fun. Although, he's difficult to use a special ability. I said Medusa was a character that was really easy to sort of pick up and play with, and to win with. King Arthur is kind of the anti-Medusa. And his special ability, I have not seen, it seems like something less that you use a lot and something you just use in small occasions. I played against someone where they kept boosting and boosting and using it like to the fullest extent, and they just ended up running out of cards and dying. And then another time when I played him, I was very conservative with the boosting, only did it like twice in the game for some good hits, and that was good. But then I just felt like he was being underutilized. And to be honest, one of the reasons why I've only played King Arthur once is that I'm sort of scared to play him again. It's like, if I'm going to play, I want to play to win, and I want to really play with a fun character. And King Arthur is viewed by the community as kind of like one of the worst characters. And again, I don't think he's bad. I put him in the okay section. But because of these issues he has, I really haven't picked him up again. Now we are in the good tier, which there is actually only one character in, and that is Bigfoot. Now, I will say up front that Bigfoot is the least solid spot on this list. He is the most sort of wishy-washy one, for lack of better words. I really would like to play him again, because it's not like the other ones where I've only played him once. I've played Bigfoot quite a few times. I originally got the Robin Hood versus Bigfoot set, and I actually played as Bigfoot. I ended up just by chance playing as Bigfoot more than Robin Hood. And so what happened, though, is that I've played with him, and I've kind of dropped him since I got the newer sets. And so I haven't actually played as Bigfoot again. I haven't played him with going against someone who wasn't Robin Hood. And I haven't fought him except as Robin Hood. And so I think if there's one character on this list that I wish I could have just gotten one more playthrough before I made this list, it would be Bigfoot. Although I do think he's a good character. As far as moving around, I don't think he would move lower. He would only be able to move higher. His special ability is very thematic. I like that idea of having to run away and disappear like Bigfoot does. He also hits hard. That's great. I love that he hits hard. I love that he can move through a lot of things. That all feels very good. I also think he has a great sidekick. The jackalope is great and is a real threat with its only one sort of thing it has, the horns, that is still crazy just for it to run through, and that's fun. So maybe in the future, once I get more plays, Bigfoot can move up, but as of now, he's staying in the good category.
Did you catch that last move? Pretty cool, huh?
Now we are in the great tier, which also, coincidentally, happens to only have one character in it, and that one character is Sinbad. Now, to start off, Sinbad was originally, I had Sinbad and the tier above him. I combined them, but then after further consideration, I decided, no, Sinbad I don't like quite as much as other characters, but he's still a great character. One of the highlights of Sinbad is how he powers up throughout a game. I recently got the Jurassic Park set, where the raptors are really powerful in the beginning, and they slowly, as they get picked off, get like less powerful. And Sinbad is the complete opposite. He's a character that just keeps and keeps powering up as he gets more and more of these voyages, where you really want to hone in and take Sinbad out fast, or he's going to be like just terrible to play against and be really scary to fight. I have that in my notes as well. He is scary to fight once he's that powerful. When you're going against him, it is crazy. And I think that's another thing like Medusa, where it's like, I almost like playing against this character more and really trying to stop them before they get all powerful and can move around the board with like 5 movement. Crazy stuff like that. I want to talk about the sidekicks. I've been doing that so far. The Porter is sneaky. He seems like one of the sidekicks that are a little bit lesser, and I think that's right. Although, I've had the past where I play as Sinbad, And I do all this stuff, you know, and my opponent, like, pretty much bends over backwards just to get far enough away from Sinbad and block him off that Sinbad can't hurt them. And then they'll have, like, moved right next to the porter. And the porter just cruises up and just hits them hard. And so I do like that. And so the only reason Sinbad is here in the great category is because he's just not quite as fun as my top 2 picks.
Oh, my old foe. We meet on the battlefield once again.
We've never met.
Alright, now we are in the final tier, the amazing tier. These are characters that are absolutely my favorites to play as, and I come back to, and are, you know, the main ones that I go to play. Now, at my number 2 spot for this list, I have Alice. And I really like this character because of the strategy of switching sizes. I think that's really great, and it feels so good to really chain them together in an interesting way. To play a card that lets you move and then change sizes, and so you go from small to big, and you're right next to your opponent, and you're big, and you hit him with a hard attack. And then in the special ability for that attack, the effect I mean, you then change back to defense to get ready for your next opponent's move. That's really fun to figure out how you can play the cards in specific orders, so that you can really make the most out of this character. And Alice also happens to have my favorite sidekick, the Jabberwock. I really enjoy the Jabberwock's 2 cards being effective against heroes. And a lot of the fun of the Jabberwock isn't like its actual cards, but just the experiences I've had with it. One game I was losing to like a super powered up Sinbad, and I was doing terrible. And I just kept maneuvering the Jabberwock in such a way. I was playing on Marmoreal. And I kept moving the Jabberwock and Alice, so that the Jabberwock was just a shield. And my opponent wasn't wanting to attack Jabberwock, because they were Sinbad. And they thought, okay, I can just move all the way around and hit Alice. And I was able to hold them off using the Jabberwock as a shield for just as long enough. They had to play through the looking glass, and then that regained Alice's health, and I was able to beat my opponent. And so that was very satisfying. I think Alice in general is a very satisfying character to play. To be able to, you know, chain those cards together, strategy-wise, that's really fun. And I really enjoy the planning of that, which is why she is my number 2 spot.
Help! Robin, help!
Marion, my love, will you marry me?
Oh, darling, I thought you'd never ask me.
And for my number 1 favorite character out of the Unmatched characters that I have, it's Robin Hood. To start off talking about Robin Hood, we can talk about how his outlaws work. He's the only character with 4 sidekicks, which is really fun. And I like, you know, the way he's designed is so that you're moving around and you're trying to pin people down with these outlaws. So then Robin Hood can just pling attacks at them. And so thematically and strategy-wise, that's really fun. I also really like how Robin Hood has 2 things, actually. He has a lot of small hits, but then he always seems to have a full hand of cards. Thematically and gameplay-wise, that's great. Robin Hood should have a whole arsenal of attacks. He should have all these cards, all these options, and yet most of his attacks are these small attacks, and so he's not going to do a lot of damage. Robin Hood also has lower health. It's on the lower side, and so with this combined with sort of your weak outlaws, it really feels when you're playing as Robin Hood like you're outmatched. You always feel sort of like you're the underdog and you're on the ropes. One mistake is Robin Hood, and you can just be done for. And you know, you think something like that would be a downside, but in Unmatched, it is so satisfying to overcome and really win with him. Because of course he's not actually, you know, underpowered. He's just, the way he's designed really makes it feel like you're the underdog. He also has a super simple but really effective special ability. There's much more flashy special abilities that are a lot more exciting. Although just the fact that Robin Hood can move 2 spaces back after his attack, you know, that's fun. That's nice. Okay, he's going to shoot them and he's going to take 2 steps back. Really effective. I also just want to highlight one card. I want to highlight Willy fighting, because I had an interesting interaction, and I wanted to do this for my top 2. I wanted to talk about something fun that happened, and really highlight why I love these characters. So Robin Hood has all these outlaws there, and he's a ranged character with low health, so he's designed to sort of always be moving back and have them blocking him, and he does not want to be surrounded, he does not want to be closed in. And one game I was playing, a 4-player game, I happened to get pinned with Arthur on one side, Medusa on another side, and a Harpy on the other side. And so Robin Hood couldn't move anywhere, he was completely pinned, which is probably the worst possible scenario for Robin Hood. But I happened to have 2 Willy fighting cards in my hand, and so I played those twice in a row, and so even though the attacks were blocked, I still was able to do damage to every single opponent surrounding it. And Unmatched in general is really good at that. It's really good at having all these perfect moments where it sets up that once per game, you're going to get one of those moments that make you, depending on whatever character you're playing as, feel really cool and really good. And I think that is just great from a gameplay point of view, and why I really love Unmatched. I also want to highlight just design-wise, I like playing as Robin Hood. I like a bow and arrow. I've always found that cool. I like the hood. I think Robin Hood's just a cool character in general, which does really help when I'm playing as him. And all these factors combined truly make Robin Hood my favorite character to play in Unmatched. So to conclude, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to share your own ranking, feel free to in the comments down below. That is greatly encouraged. Tell me what you think. Also, if you like this content, please consider subscribing. And that's all for now. And I hope, as always, that you have a fantastic day.